Noah, I am dummy thick, and the sound of my clapping syncs the audio. Wait, hold up.
I'll do it. I'm mostly mad because I didn't think of that first.
I'm dummy thick, and the sound of my ass juice clapping syncs the audio. 3, 2, 1.
So the other night, I visited Nina's art stream, and I dropped reference to some story that I realize is obviously not common knowledge because it's an inside joke between siblings to a point. So I wanted to bring it out into the world so everyone could enjoy it as much as I do. My response of "you don't need blank where you're going," or "they won't need blank where they're going." Any situation I can, I try and put that in. So this one day, my brother and I, we both worked at the same job for a while, and
thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. And in the mornings, it was dumb slow all the time.
Dummy thick. I'm sorry. What?
Dummy thick and also dummy slow. Much like molasses.
I myself am dummy thick.
I myself am dummy slow.
Anyway.
They called me molasses in high school.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. They tried not to call me at all. They called me a pain in the ass in high school is what they called me.
I believe that. Actually, I ran into your mom the other day. But unrelated.
Why?
Anyway, so this one morning, my brother and I decided, what would be a constructive use of our time? Fighting. Because I don't know if it's podcast knowledge or not, but Jeff, he's trained in various forms of martial arts at this point. I don't think he's like ranked in anything specifically. But
is
I don't
this
know
a Thanksgiving
for sure.
story?
This is not a Thanksgiving story.
Okay.
No.
Because your sister's a variation on this story that is Thanksgiving specific.
Yeah, no, my sister's variation on the story usually involves me falling on the ground and going, ugh.
That is the exact story she tells. It's very funny.
That's not this story. This story's even better. So I don't remember what I was minding my own business is what I was doing. I was doing nothing wrong. I was a saint in the eyes of the Lord.
Big fucking doubt.
And then Jeff jumped on my back and started choking me. And I'm in a kitchen. There's stainless steel counters all over, and Jeff is like choking me for real because I didn't get my neck tucked, so like I can't breathe too well. So if you've ever seen me fight, you know that as soon as I start to be able to not breathe so much, I start to talk more.
Yep, because you're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. So I start talking in this like raspy, awful voice, and I start punching him in the knees while I'm trying to breathe. And the only thing I could think to say is, "You won't need your knees where you're going." And then a full like 2 beats, and then I said, "the hospital." And that's about when I collapsed into the counter and couldn't stand up anymore.
Yeah, I just want to. You just like you're getting jumped, and you hear, "Get this man's knees."
Not the knees. Oh
So,
my
yeah.
god, it's beautiful.
Nicolas Cage be like, "Not the knees."
Not the knees.
So yeah, Nina, that's the story I was referencing when I said,
"Oh, Nina,
they won't need ears where they're going." That's what I was referencing.
That's very, very, very good.
It's
God damn it.
It's my favorite thing.
Get this man's knees.
It's it's honestly one of my best memories from that job.
I genuinely can never get over the fact that your first response, your instinctive fucking knee-jerk response as a human being is, "I can no longer breathe. I should talk more. Maybe they'll let go."
No, it's actually usually laughter. So there's this like gasping, choking
That's not
laughter.
that better. That's
well,
not.
It's like it's his brother choking. It's not like he's like, "This is an assailant, a very real situation, which I will die."
Yeah.
I honestly though, knowing Noah, I don't know the situation would change that much.
No, if it was a life or death thing, I'd probably start laughing a little bit, but in a more uncomfortable way than if Jeff and I are fighting.
That's fair. I mean, nice.
Exactly.
You guys hear that?
I heard you. That's why. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the clap of my ass cheeks. I'm talking about cracking open a cold one.
With the boys, even.
With the boys.
What a great day.
Welcome to Jackson's Beer Corner, part of the show where I drink. All right.
Nice.
Today's beer is something I picked up on a whim after going to the liquor store as soon as it opened today.
Nice.
And there's one word that got me out of this whole.
Oh, those are the best kind, honestly.
The whole setup.
Which I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. I realized during editing a little while ago that when we make comments while you set up your beer corner, it may sound like we know what we're talking about. Like Jackson has told us already what this beer is, and we're just like, yes, go on, as if we're like trying to move you toward a goal. We have no idea what he's about to say.
It's true. I could just,
you could drop the absolute worst thing on our heads right now.
I could say the N-word.
And we would just be sitting here like, yes, do continue.
Yes,
we literally don't know what's happening. I just feel like it's worth noting because...
real talk, if I just said the N-word, would you guys kick me off the podcast, or would you just edit it out?
I mean, we'd edit it out and then have to sit down and have like a very serious talk about why, in fact, you said the N-word.
I mean, that is very far away from my character.
Yeah.
I've established myself as a bit of a far lefty communist.
Let's be real, Jackson.
Very socially progressive. Yeah, no, for real. I could have any beer that you guys have no clue what's coming up here.
You could straight up have Bud Light right now, and like we wouldn't know until you say it.
So the one word that stepped out to me was Bud.
I liked how it said no preservatives.
Good lord.
Buddadabad, BUDDBADABAD.
Oh yeah, shout out to. I'm pretty sure I know who's running that Bubba Wubba Dab account.
I'm also pretty confident.
But shout out to them for trashing my beer corners for being bad, because they are. Jackson's back here, so...
Noah's only interrupting me because he's scared that I'm about to reveal the best beer of all time.
I'm a little scared.
Or fucking Miller Lite.
He's like, I gotta fill for time. Yeah, it is weird to me that like Bud Light commercials now are like, we don't have any preservatives in our beer. That means like either Miller or Coors, like one of them's got preservatives in it, if I had to guess.
I don't know. To me, like preservatives doesn't, like, why is that a bad thing?
Yeah, but why would you need that in something that's already fermented? Like it's already gone bad.
Literally everything has preservatives in it. Like that, like literally everything.
No, Dan, here's the thing. Preservatives, does not need. They're a fear buzzword.
I don't know why.
Like preservatives, GMO, anything that involves
GMO food is objectively better.
No, it's a fear buzzword.
It doesn't make sense. By definition, by literal definition, GMO food is better.
Not by definition.
The fluoride in your GMO food is turning the frogs gay. Jackson, what's the beer?
But I do want to stop for a second and say...
We'll talk about this in a second.
No. The definition is genetically modified organism.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean better organism. It just means modified,
but like,
which
there's no point. There's no profitability in making a worse organism.
Yes, but you said by definition, and I just wanted to correct you on that.
By logic and definition. How's that?
Logic will prevail.
Listen,
I'm an atheist.
Listen, in this moment, I'm euphoric, okay?
I have a song about that.
That is an old meme. Anyway, please continue, Jackson. We have held you away from your beer corner long enough.
I want to. I think you guys are canceled. All right, sisters, let's go. These guys are canceled. I'm back.
Welcome back.
I came back. Yeah. All right, sisters. It's called hibiscus. It's a hibiscus saison, and it's a floral tropical tart ale, and it's part of the Whimsical series.
You said so many words.
All right, so
it's a hibiscus saison.
Yeah,
part of the Whimsical series.
Yeah, I don't know what the other members of the Whimsical series are, but that word whimsical got me.
Yeah, I can believe that.
It's floral, tropical, and tart. So the can says. But no, Saison is like I believe it's a German beer, and it's like very highly carbonated and fruity. It's a very pleasant beer. It doesn't have an ABV on it. So I'm not sure what the alcohol volume is, but it is by Adalbert's Brewery, which is out of Austin, Texas. And the beer is also very pink in color because of the hibiscus. So proceeds from the purchase of this beer go to breast cancer research.
It's actually a really gorgeous can, too.
Yeah, it is. It's a very pretty can.
Man, if only someone had sent me an image so I could look at it.
Oh, for crying out loud. You could look it up yourself just like I did.
That's what Noah did. That's another thing. Like, not only do I not...
we know.
Tell them what beer it's going to be, but I don't describe I just tell them what it says on the can and tell them who it's from.
That actually is
Noah has to.
That actually looks really good. I won't even lie to you.
I like the color.
Yeah, I really like that red.
It's a very good beer.
Shit.
It. It's got a little bit of hibiscus, so it's a bit bitter, a bit tart, but it's
also it's
flavorful.
It's 5.6.
5.6. There you go, Noah. Thank you.
Yep.
He also does no research on the beer beforehand either.
I mean,
well, usually it says everything on the can, but this one doesn't have the ABV on the can.
9 times out of 10, it has all the information you need on the can.
It does,
that one time
actually.
out of 10 is the hysterical time where Jackson is like desperately scrambling to find something to talk about.
It's the little purple banner on the bottom.
I was just talking about everything else. Purple banner on the bottom.
It doesn't.
355 milliliters, 12 flavor ounces. Yeah, it's on
freaking wild. It doesn't say that on some of the cans.
Does it on some others?
Yeah. Like, I'm looking at one picture with a can and it doesn't say it, and I'm looking at another one that looks just like it and it says it.
That is weird.
It's brewed in Austin, which is neat.
That's what I started out by saying. Yeah.
Yep, I paid attention. I wasn't looking up a bottle.
Adelbert's Brewery.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
So it's good.
One
so
more
it
time,
tastes a little tart, you say?
Yeah, a little bit tart, a little bit bitter because of the hibiscus.
Yeah, it's really good. Actually, I would actually try that. I don't think I've ever had a tart beer.
I actually kind of like a tart beer, like a cranberry beer.
A cranberry?
Cranberry. Hibiscus I've had in a couple different beers, and I like it for the most part. Like, I think that Daymaker from Carbach that I had a couple of weeks ago on the show was cranberry hibiscus, I want to say. Which is a match made in heaven for beer.
I think that is what you had, and that also sounds very, very good.
It was. And I like the tartness in beer. I am a fan.
So
I'm also a dummy Thicc.
Speaking of tart, have you tried it's one from Dogfish Head. It's the Sea Quench Ale.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have not tried that, but I love the name.
Yeah, it's salt, black lime, and lime. And
it does sound wait, so it's 2 kinds of lime and salt.
Yeah, that's your flavor profile. And I'm gonna be honest, it is it's a real intense flavor when you first try it.
Sounds like a tequila shot.
A little bit, but with less tequila. I liked it. It took me about half the can to actually enjoy it, but once I got past that initial wow, this is pretty tart, it was pretty nice, very refreshing.
I think starting a brewery would be kind of fun.
Just kind of sit down, brainstorm some flavors, and then make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, can't disagree. I feel like that would be a decently good time.
Coming to you next week, Off the Air Beer.
This is one of those things that, like, I really, really want us to get sponsored by like a beer company at some point, just so that we get it. Even if it's not like a really our own beer, just have our own like label on a can would be really dope. I mean, granted, yeah, we could just go do that ourselves, but that's not the point. You know, do
some real microbrewing.
Real microbrewery hours. Who up? Like,
oh man, you know, last, okay? Yeah, no, I'm trying to find the name of a hard cider I had not that long ago because
DJ Khaled.
I'm trying to find the name of a hard cider I had when Noah and I went to Barcade here in Philadelphia.
Was it DJ Khaled?
It was not. Noah, did you try that hard cider I was sipping?
I tried it. It was very sweet.
Okay.
Especially in contrast to no, it wasn't Reds. It was from
yeah, because your drink was very not sweet.
It was incredibly tart, and I don't remember what its name was, and I'm very mad about that. It was Evolution something.
Was it an actual?
It's good.
Was it off the tap?
Yes.
Do you remember what day that was that we went? Would have been.
It was a Sunday.
31st.
Yes.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm on their site. I'm trying because I'm going back to it anyway because I'm trying to find mine.
I tried to find it and it was incredibly
not
helpful.
It's Day Crush. That's what it was.
Freaking heck! How did you find that so fast? Well, that was very good.
Because it was right. It was right here, bud. Here, I'm gonna send you the link.
No, I don't want to see it.
Too late. And then the thing I had was called Doc's Draft hard cider. But that was the last thing I had that was actually like a regular drink and not just something I mixed myself.
I do like hard ciders. If I'm really feeling just like drinking sugar water, the Red's apple with like the Red's blueberry though is what it is. Mm-hmm. That's so good, but it's just sugar water.
Yep, 100%. I feel,
but it's delightful.
I really really like Angry Orchard Rosé.
Oh, that's good too.
If you want something kind of light and like just like yeah, I really like that one. Doc's Draft was not that. Doc's Draft was like had a much stronger flavor, but Noah's right. It was very, very sweet. I have a fucking nasty sweet tooth. It's a problem. I literally have a bag of candy sitting in front of me that I am actively trying not to eat this entire bag of candy that's sitting in front of me.
There was someone delivered cookies to work yesterday.
Ooh, what kind?
And they're from a place called Tiff's Treats.
Yeah, but what kind of cookies?
Austin business. There was like a whole bunch. It's a really dope company. What you do is you like give them like, I don't know, $10 or whatever for like a dozen cookies, which is a lot. But they deliver them to your house still warm or to wherever you are. We
have a thing like that in Philly called Insomnia Cookies, which is I'm literally might finish this podcast and go out and buy some insomnia cookies. I love them so much.
But yeah, they'll just drop them off at your house, still warm. And the one lady called last night, was like, "Hey, I'm coming over from this Tiff Streets. Do you want some cookies?" And we were like, "Well, yeah, but do you want some free food?" So we didn't exchange. We gave them free pancakes, and they gave us free cookies.
That's actually really
a fantastic deal.
And then I ate one cookie, and I was like, "That's way too much sugar. I feel sick."
Back when I worked at
that's also fair.
Back when I worked at the pretzel place that I used to work at, we had a Ruby Tuesdays right across the way, and pretty consistently, usually every week or so, we would trade an entire piling plate of their fresh biscuits for whatever old pretzels or Cinnabon or whatever we had at the time.
Nice. Said she want diamonds. I took it to Ruby Tuesdays.
Ruby Tuesdays, no joke, is one of my favorite chains.
If we open Fridays, I still have it my way.
See, I get what you're doing, and I get it.
That is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Kanye West songs.
But here's the problem.
You like Kanye?
I do.
I don't know. Noah likes Kanye.
We talked about this. Noah loves Kanye. I am painfully indifferent.
I do love Kanye, and I don't even miss the old Kanye. I like the new Kanye.
I do too.
Nice. I'm glad to see Noah as a man of culture. It's time to talk about music, guys.
Oh, great.
I'm so happy.
Hard take. Folk is just country for people who are afraid to say they like country.
Strong disagree.
I will disagree with that as well, but mostly in the sense that country is usually chunkier than folk is.
Agreed.
How dare you say that?
Do you like it chunky?
Chunky? I like it dummy thick.
There we go. Thanks, Jackson. Thanks for having my back on that. God,
I'm not having your back on this.
See, I was gonna go into a do you like it big? Do you like it chunky, et cetera, et cetera?
I know you were going to go into the Moto bit.
Yeah,
I know.
That was, but I'm mad because
it's exactly why I shut me down.
You shut me down again.
See, I also shut you down, but using something that made
it
feel like we were
Jackson,
both
you didn't
winning.
fully shut me down because you turned it in a different direction. That's called improv. You instead of,
I made it a win-win.
You yes-anded me.
See,
damn straight.
I would love to yes and you, but it is far too early. I just woke up.
Dude, so did I. Shut the fuck your mouth. I don't want to hear it.
I have not gone to bed yet.
Dan, that's why you're making dumb jokes, Jackson. That's why you're just on a roll. It just makes sense.
Listen, we're all fine here. I'm fine. You're fine. We're all fine. What was I going to say? So I actually have strong feelings about folk because there is a very specific subgenre of folk that I love, and it's very hard to find. It's going to
be fuzz folk?
It's
all right,
filk.
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Filk is what it's called.
The heck is
it sounds like that sounds like felch, which is not a good word.
No, it's called filk. It's Dan
likes felch.
Really not. It's not easy to find anymore because it's like So filk is according to literally just the 2-second Google, it's a musical culture, genre, and community tied to the science fiction and fantasy fandom. That's primarily songs. Primarily it's songs about either a sci-fi fantasy. Have you guys ever heard? I know I've shared it.
God, I am so tuned out of this.
I don't care. You brought up folk, so now you're stuck with this.
I like sci-fi.
You guys know?
Folk.
Have you guys heard
just say
the
you
song
like country.
"The Mariner's Revenge" by the Decemberists?
Yeah,
that would be the closest thing I can think of that's filky that has come out recently.
Stop saying filk. It sounds like a cuss word.
It's not.
It sounds like a dirty sex thing.
Literally not. It's. Do you guys know? Oh, shoot. Who did Bard's song? Do you guys know Blind Guardian?
No.
Yeah.
Blind Guardian has had their whole Middle Earth, half of their Middle Earth album. If it wasn't as they have some slower, more chill, acoustic. There we go. That's the word. They have some acoustic stuff, and their acoustic stuff would be considered folk.
I was going to say, I'm going to have to stop you real hard if you're going to try and say they are, because they're power metal.
No, but their acoustic stuff is very filky.
You guys like fuzz folk?
I don't know fuzz folk.
It's a Neutral Milk Hotel, namely. It's basically just lo-fi folk. But not lo-fi hip hop, but just literally low fidelity.
So I need one of you guys to help me out here.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to me what
the power of Jolt eye drops.
God, we are not sponsored by them. Did they ever get back to you, by the way?
No, they never got back to me. I'm very sad.
I can imagine why.
Cut that.
Who could have thought? So explain to me what the appeal to lo-fi music is, because I don't
What is not the appeal?
it's just very I almost said whimsical, but that's just because I'm reading the beer can.
I was gonna say, I feel like lo-fi, like that is not like.
It's just very relaxing.
That's what I was thinking too.
But it isn't it just by definition, air quote. Isn't it just a lower quality?
You see,
audio?
That would be what you would think it would mean, but it has now become a genre in and of itself, and that is not what it means anymore.
Okay, it now means lo-fi hip hop chill beats to relax / study to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think of, but like I don't.
But low fidelity should just be a lower quality like audio file.
Yeah, that's where my confusion is. 'Cause I don't listen to I don't listen to like the lo-fi beats to study to kind of thing. Like that is a joke, but also it's very, very true. Like that's the only context I usually see it in. I don't usually hear people talk about like, oh yeah, I really like lo-fi, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I would not be able to sit and listen to stuff like that. That is just, it's something that kind of gets on my nerves, and I don't want to sit and listen to it.
I don't dislike it. It's just definitely not my thing. And
my thought is it's too complicated sounding for what I want to listen to as generic background sound, but it is too simple for me to actually like enjoy having on as generic background sound.
Honestly, I think I'm pretty much in the same boat. I think that is almost exactly where I sit with it. I don't know. I've just been kind of curious about that. Not recently, but like it's been one of those things. I'm like, I'm not going to go and ask a bunch of people, but I'll ask you guys on the podcast. Okay, so it is its own genre, and it really is like
it has become its own genre. I wouldn't say it was set out to become its own genre initially, but lo-fi has definitely become more of a mood. I would say its main defining feature is just significantly less sub hits.
Okay,
that would be because I feel like lo-fi to me would make me think of things that can like play on the radio spectrum comfortably, and the radio spectrum is pretty confined.
Yeah, it's rough. Radio spectrum's real rough.
Mm-hmm.
I started working like in a convenience store again, and God, the radio
combination of radio store speakers and the radio, or
it's even worse, fam. It's not even like real speakers. Like the building doesn't have speakers. It is literally speakers behind the register that are just there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
I know what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst, but that's okay. Hey, got to get that bread.
Gotta get that bread. Must attain that grain.
Must.
Dang it! I thought I had another one, and it just wasn't coming to me.
There's something about yeast, and I can't remember what the one for yeast is.
That yeast.
Gather yeast for the feast.
That one works, I guess.
Thank you. Yeet that yeast.
No, I already said that, and I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of, but maybe.
I like it though.
I like it too. It's a good word.
All right, let's go. Eat that yeast, boys.
All right, is that our new? Is that our new thing? Okay, cool. Well, I hate that. So
I brought up the folk thing, not just to make a hot take,
not just to tell me that my one of my favorite genres sounds like a bad word.
It also just sounds bad.
I mean, that's fine.
Got 'em. But also, it would be very out of character for me to be like, yes, I want to listen to sci-fi themed folk music.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very much like a me thing, and that's okay. And 64 doesn't listen to the podcast, I don't think, but he gets me. He understands.
Felching.
And
stop saying felching.
A friend of ours.
Well, maybe Dan just stopped listening to felch.
I don't know what that word means, and I don't want to ask.
Look it up. I had to, and you should know what it means too. That's why I'm using these Jolt eye drops to cleanse my eyes.
Oh, okay, that's
fine. It's not that gross.
Also,
it's fairly standard.
Worth noting, these things are incredibly painful early in the morning versus.
Why are you still using them?
At night? At night, they were actually like a relief, but right now, they actually just kind of hurt.
That's how they're supposed to feel.
I hate that.
No.
Sounds like someone hates Jolt eye drops. The gamers
eye
drops. Because we've tried to reach out for sponsorship, I will legally not say that I hate Jolt eye drops.
I am indifferent. Also, I really am sorry to any viewers that had to look up felch.
I mean,
I'm not sorry for Noah or Dan. They had it coming.
I didn't see. Here's the thing. You got to remember, Jackson. I've been on the internet a lot longer than Noah has. That like as an idea or as a word doesn't. Well, yeah, doesn't.
As a music genre, you're into it.
Wait, as an idea that doesn't even weird you out?
No, not really, man.
No, not really.
So,
no, that's like vanilla.
Yeah,
that's like
man,
a 2 out of 10.
That's not that bad, fam.
We're moving.
That's in the standard package.
We're doing
that's one of the base 60 channels.
We're moving on real hard from right now.
That's one of the. You guys ever listen to? It's a little bit more like pop folk, but so you ever listen to Ron Pope at all?
I have not.
Don't believe so.
He is an incredibly talented singer-songwriter. and he has put out many albums full of great, it's like rock, folk, kind of. It's really good. He's really good music, and
I tried to look up Ron Pope, and I got linked to Ron Popeil instead, and I'm not happy about that.
He's a class traitor. Fuck Ron Popeil.
I don't.
Who's he from? What's he do? He's the owner of something.
Wasn't he like the guy that ran all the As Seen on TV
As Seen
stuff?
on TV, yep, you're right. Yeah, fuck that guy. No, Ron Pope, he's my man. He is famously known for being the person who wrote the song A Drop in the Ocean. Unfortunately. Which is a good song, it's a fine song. But, like, it's very famous, like, incredibly famous, to the point where it kind of, like, dwarfs everything else he's ever done. But it's not as good as everything else he's ever done. It just doesn't matter if it's very saleable, and it's very digestible for, like, I
don't recognize this at all.
This song that Noah linked isn't as popular, but that's still one of the more popular.
I just pulled up Drop in the Ocean, Drop in the Ocean, and I do not recognize it at all.
Yeah, that was like a big radio hit, probably around 2008 when it came out.
That explains a lot. Because 10 years ago, I was still a child, but I also was listening to even less music than I did now.
He's actually put out a 10th anniversary edition of that album.
Oh, nice.
And it's pretty good. It's like an all acoustic version, and it's a good album, and it's good to have it redone. But it's just a shame that my man has to keep going back to that one song, just redoing it to make any money, because the rest of his stuff isn't as saleable to the public. But it's
on the bright side, he is able to make money doing presumably what he loves.
That is true.
So,
oh my gosh, the microphone he's using in this video for A Drop in the Ocean is so expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
The fact that you recognize it out of hand is really, really funny.
I only recognize it because a guy I follow on YouTube obtained one so that he could test it versus like a cheap microphone. And he basically had to sign his soul away to use this microphone.
Ooh, let me see.
Because he was only
to buy it or just to rent it?
He was just renting it.
Do you know what the name of the microphone is?
Off the top of my head, no.
Do you know what brand it is?
No, I recognize it from the video. I recognize it visually. I don't remember anything else about it because
Why are you useless to me?
It was like a $70,000 microphone.
I mean, that sounds about right, but also, why are you still useless to me?
Look up freaking Rumi Official. He's the one that did it.
Oh shit, Rumi did it?
Yeah, it was Rumi, the good old boy.
Malik?
Yeah, $125,000 mic. Okay, here's a hot take, and maybe it's just because I didn't watch the video, but it's an AKG. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Here's a hot take. At that point, you're not getting that much better audio quality than like $1,000 microphone.
It's one of those things.
Spicy take.
Where I back when I ran sound for a church, I had a guitarist who always wanted to upgrade his kit.
And a bassist who believed the earth was flat.
Different church, but yeah.
I know, I just want to throw that out there.
But he was looking to upgrade the mic that he bought for his amp because he wanted to have his own mic and everything with him. And the guy who was trying to sell it to him is like, I could sell you a more expensive microphone, but with what you're doing, you're looking at buying a studio level mic for a live performance, and you're not going to get the full spectrum of what you can get out of it in what you're going to be using it for.
Yeah.
So firstly, shout out to my boy Mike Marino for not trying to oversell someone.
Microphone Marino.
Exactly.
That's his full name.
That is indeed his full name, Microphone Marino.
I mean, that makes sense.
But yeah. It's so easy to fall down the rabbit hole of like trying to get better microphones when you definitely hit a point as a consumer and not as a like recording studio where you're not going to make any difference with your microphone at this point.
Honestly, hot take. Again, this is as somebody who records sound as like not a steady source of income, but as a source of income.
Uh-huh.
After about let me double check what the price of the microphone that I go for that I usually use is.
So that you don't make some sort of statement that's incorrect.
Exactly. Let's see. The one I always go for is $1,500. So yeah, I would say about after like the $2,000 range, you're really not getting an improvement in audio quality that's noticeable to literally anybody except for the audiophiles who are literally only listening for that.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you'd like whatever audio you're using to listen to it and whatever way you're compressing it and mixing it and whatever is going to be much, much, much more important than the actual quality that you're getting in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
With the quality of these nuts. Got him, boys.
Why? Why are you like this? Who hurt you?
Got him.
Who hurt you?
Fucked, nerd.
Dan, keep in mind, this is super late at night for him because he hasn't slept yet.
Why is he like this? Who hurt him?
Why are you like Dan? This is the same thing you do, except it's too early for you to be doing it.
Oh no, yeah. I'll be doing it. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. It just takes time. These things, they take time.
Oh dang, the episode's over. Sorry guys. Anyway, it's been great.
Oh shit! I just realized. We never did the. Hey guys, welcome back to Off the Air.
Oh shoot, Dan. You're right. I'm Noah.
30 minutes into the podcast.
Yeah,
that'll be okay.
This is where Noah does like a really slick cut and puts us to the beginning.
Nope.
Nice. Even better. I'm Noah. That's Dan. The other guy's Jackson.
I don't like that you just tried to attach your shenanigans to my name.
Yeah, well,
my name.
That's usually how it goes.
Is that how it usually goes?
Yeah,
I don't think it is.
Well, I guess it is. You said so.
Listen, would I lie to you if it wasn't really funny? Listen.
That was not really funny.
Listen, here's the thing, Noah. Have I ever lied to you?
Yes.
Really? You said that by definition GMOs?
Have I ever lied to you when it wasn't really funny and or a mistake?
I don't know. It would have been a lie. Maybe I believed you.
You definitely did because I'm a great liar. And it was a
good idea?
That's a lie. I'm a terrible liar. You see? Boom. Lies. That's usually, honestly, that's how I tell most lies, is that I'll say a thing and immediately, like seconds later, be like, no, that's not true at all. Let me tell you how actual thing is. It is.
You mansplain.
I do. I mansplain a lot. I actually realized the other day that, like, I was going back and I was listening through some of the old episodes when Nina was on doing the tabletop game episode. I realized that I think I came off as super gatekeepy.
I am the biggest gatekeeper for everything, and I hate anyone who wants to do anything, especially if it's for just a hobby.
I don't like that I did that.
You did come off that way, and then you backpedaled real hard. Okay. I think realizing in the moment that that's how you were coming off, because there were a few moments. Yeah,
but don't you like Star Wars? So that doesn't mean you have to be a gatekeeper.
No, because I think Star Wars is the stupidest fucking thing on the planet. I love it. Don't. I do.
They're nice.
I don't. It's not the stupidest fucking thing. It's very high on the stupid fucking things list, though. But Star Wars is real fucking dumb.
There were some moments that I was getting ready to call you out on, like, what you were saying, especially after Nina had said some things about guys always like trying to shut her down because she's a woman who reads comic books.
Yeah.
And then you started being like, well, you know, this, that, the other thing. And I'm just thinking, Dan.
See, that's why I'm in the right, because I hate women and men who read comic books.
I mean, that's fair. Honestly,
the other day someone was talking. They're like, it's kind of like how, you know, it's they were like explaining something to me. They're like, well, he actually like died in this series, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, I hate comic books. Like, well, actually, like if you look in this one universe, Spider-Man actually had the world's largest dick, and then but if you go to
so every universe,
but in Earth 6, Spider-Man's actually a homeschooler. And then in Earth 8, Spider-Man's got no toes, but actually, still has the world's largest dick.
You know what? No joke. I actually would read a Spider-Man comic where he was homeschooled.
It would be just like Spider-Man,
be terrible.
but he
would be so bad.
But it'd be the same, but he just wouldn't know how to make friends.
Exactly. Although
he just would be like, "Hey, Doc Ock, no, don't do that, please." My mom said we shouldn't.
Spider-Man doesn't know how to make friends anyway. He just has like two that he keeps around.
That's Spider-Man, what I was gonna say too.
Spider-Man is my best friend.
He's your best friend?
I thought.
I guess.
I thought that was Paddington.
No, that's just my friend Paddington.
Oh,
Bear.
Okay. I'm sorry.
My best friend Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
And your friend Paddington Bear.
I would never tell you Spider-Man's secret identity, and he's totally not Paddington Bear, my other friend.
I'm just saying, I've never seen Spider-Man and Paddington Bear in the same room at the same time.
I really do want Paddington Bear to be Spider-Man in one universe.
I mean, that we have Peter Porker. No, we might as well have Paddington Spider-Man.
That's not the same. Yeah. Also, I do not believe in a multiverse.
Ooh.
In real life.
Ooh, are we gonna talk? Can we talk about this?
I mean, really... my whole thing is I just think it's kind of silly, and it's like an escapist fantasy thing where people can jerk off and be like, in one universe, I'm dating hot girl.
No. Well, here's the thing. It has to be still within the realm of all possibilities can be possible. There's no possibility that that's happening.
That's a stupid thing to say, considering in one of the infinite universes, there could be a branch so early. That's when people say, oh, in an alternate universe, maybe I'm flying and shooting magic from my fingers. I mean, that is... If that theory was real, that is a possibility, because there could be a branch somewhere that made that possible.
Like those universes branch off like 60 more times until like it gets a little bit more implausible until eventually, you know, in the spectrum of infinity.
Yeah, that's the problem, is it becomes a spectrum of infinity, and like at a certain point it doesn't matter. And like, I dislike the idea that like certain things don't like. I just like the idea that in alternate universes, the laws of physics don't apply, which is like a common like idea. Like, oh yeah, I just I'm Superman, and I'm like, well, are you though? Because like physics still exist, and like you don't just suddenly have magic superpowers because you're in a different universe. It just things are different. And
Superman was not from a different universe. He just lived far away.
Yo,
like in Tahiti.
Just woke up like that.
You mentioned comic books, and I really want to go read Injustice again. Sorry. Speaking of alternate universes,
can we talk about Brightburn?
So
What's Brightburn?
Because it's like a new James Gunn movie or J.J. Abrams Gunn. One of those dumb guys.
Hey,
And,
hey.
Hey, he wrote a funny movie one time, Jackson. Shut up.
Fuck off, Jackson.
Right.
Piss off. Don't be me about this. Like, you don't even have opinions on this. You're just being angry.
No, I'm only angry
this.
because it's just Superman, but he's mad.
I actually just saw the trailer for this the other day when I went to see Pet Sematary.
That sounds awesome.
Pet Sematary?
It doesn't look
No,
terrible.
I meant Brightburn. Like, just as like it's what if Superman wasn't turned into a baddie?
It's just angsty Superman.
I'm okay with that. That sounds so good.
It even takes, but like it's not Superman, but like it takes place in Kansas. I'm like, nothing has taken place in Kansas ever,
horror
except
movies.
for Superman.
There have
Not a
definitely
lot of horror movies
Not
takes
a
place in
lot of
Kansas.
horror movies take place in Kansas.
Nah, man. There definitely have to have been some, statistically speaking.
Just like there,
I don't know, man. Nothing happens in Kansas,
The Wizard of Oz happened in Kansas, and that's
and that was only the
Almost
beginning.
I'm
of the
pretty sure
end.
that was a superhero movie.
With the Wizard of Oz, the entire thing was outside of Kansas.
and I will
Except for the
not
beginning
accept
and the
that
end.
it's a superhero movie. That's a hard stance.
You know what? I'll take it.
Yeah. Why is it not a superhero movie? Explain.
It's part of the DC cinematic universe.
Yeah, man.
That
Everyone
I would
knows.
believe. I would believe that.
Oh man. Speaking
Speaking
of, go for it.
We're all
I know
speaking of-
Jackson
Shazam.
isn't. Oh, I wasn't going to talk about Shazam. I was going to ask
okay.
about anyone's take on the Joker. Which Jackson, I'm sure your take is going to be that you couldn't care less, right?
It actually looks kind of neat, I guess. I'm not gonna watch it because I'll be annoyed by it because
Yeah,
I don't want to support the industry.
that's fair.
But I do like Joaquin Phoenix.
That's one of the things I was excited about. I didn't realize I liked him until I looked into him a little more and realized I'd seen him in some movies that I enjoyed.
What's his name?
Joaquin Phoenix?
Spell it for me, please.
No.
Oh God, no!
You can just search the
Joker
Joker
Phoenix.
and then, just find him yourself. I don't know how to spell his name.
His brother, River Phoenix.
Joaquin.
died.
So JOAQUIN. Joaquin.
Joaquin.
Phoenix.
He was in The Dark Knight.
And, yes,
What was he in The Dark Knight?
just hanging out.
He was just Joaquin Phoenix.
You know
As
who
himself?
I really like? Who was in The Dark Knight? Aaron Eckhart. Great guy. Great actor.
What has he been in? He looks really familiar. I mean, yes, obviously I just saw it. Oh, he was in Her. Okay, that's why.
You guys ever seen Thank You for Smoking with Aaron Eckhart?
I have not.
It is really good. It's a movie about a guy who is a lobbyist for big tobacco.
Huh.
It's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Wait, he worked on The Dark
It's
Knight, but hold on. Was he really himself in The Dark Knight?
Probably not.
No, that was just me.
Why did Dark
Saying
Knight
things.
pop up with one of his things in the? Maybe he
I don't
wasn't
know.
actually in it. It just was
He
wrong.
was in like what Operation Valkyrie. He was in Tombstone, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's a good actor though. He's got a lot of accolades.
But yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
I'm
the Joker
I'm
looks
really
kinda
interested in I'm really interested in the Joker. I think it's gonna be. I'm not so interested. I'm like, oh man, I'm definitely gonna go out and buy a ticket right away. But I'm curious. I like the direction that they're going with it. I'll put it that way. I think it's a more interesting Joker than the last.
I just have a problem with the Joker in general.
Because it's a bad
which
character
isn't-
that only works as a counterpoint to Batman.
I mean, obviously, but further than that, it's because it's like every like dude who is like 5'4" and wears trip pants is like, love me the Joker. He's so right, man. Insanity strikes us all. I'm like, shut the fuck up for 10 seconds and go back to Hot Topic.
Yeah.
I'm literally doing a presentation today. Actually, I have to make sure I finish it up for later tonight. And part of the presentation is about how the Joker is a fucking like, because everyone's like, oh, a psychopath, bleh. And I'm like, the Joker's literally not. He's just a fucking piece of shit. At least
he's just a bad person.
he's just a bad guy and also an anarchist. Like at least in like Heath Ledger's, which is like I feel like what people go to right away when they think of him.
Anytime people think of the best Joker, they just are talking about Heath Ledger's Joker, which I guess if you're like a big comic fan, his Joker is actually not a good Joker.
It isn't at all. It's really, really not.
Because he's a little too grounded in it, if memory serves.
Is it because that's what people like it because it's not like the comic books?
Yeah.
Nope.
Jackson gets a point.
I will say yes and also no, because I think people like it because it is like he's dark and crazy, and like people almost like enough angry white boys are like, well, I mean, he actually kind of has a point to make him really popular. In the same way that a lot of people like fucking what's his name from Fight Club. But
I was about to say people who like the Joker, or the Joker, I mean, is someone who watched Fight Club and took it too seriously.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
I do love also because the same dudes who are like, gotta get me a relationship like the Joker and Harley Quinn are the same dudes who are like, Fight Club's like, shut the fuck up. I know what's wrong with that.
I know. It's just, I feel gross
That's
even
been said
saying
by
it.
every post on the internet for like the past like 18 years. Anyway.
Now, what I will
gotta
say,
give me a relationship like the Joker and Harley Quinn. They're like, also like Fight Club is a great movie about like good ideas. And like, oh, maybe we should.
Now, it is worth noting that more people are understanding of the fact that Joker and Harley are not relationship goals.
Oh, most everybody understands that. Who's a normal person? I'm talking about like the toxic masculinity dudes who are just like, "Gotta love me the Joker and my Jinko jeans." You can picture the dudes.
Oh, I definitely can, and I hate it.
Oh yeah, they're bad dudes. Nobody likes them.
Oh, it's the same people who well, it's not the same people. There's a lot of crossover with the same people who are like, Rick and Morty. Oh man,
Is it the most ambitious crossover of all time?
Wubba lubba dub dude.
Yeah, man. Wubba lubba dub bad. That's how that goes, right?
Oh, good lord.
Well, BRB changing my Twitter handle. BRB. Hold on 1 second.
The other day, somebody told me they were doing something like, oh yeah, like you know, he said wubba lubba dub dub, and I'm like, that's pretty funny. It's a reference. And I was like, yeah, and they're like, to Rick and Morty, you know? And they're like, well, actually, do you know wubba lubba dub dub means that, like, you know, my soul is, I'm just sitting there like, I just want to shoot myself in the fucking head right now. As they say, wubba lubba dub dub to me, because I want to die, because people won't stop talking to me about Rick and Morty, but it's been like 18 years.
It has been way too long, and here's the thing.
I think my anger for everything just comes from the fact that people want to talk to me about things they care about, and I don't want to talk to people, period. I mean, so I'm immediately becoming embittered towards anything that people like.
And then
it's understandable.
Honestly, it tracks.
They're like, I want to share my interest with you, and I'm like, I don't want to be your friend. But I don't say that, so I just listen to them, and then I hate whatever they're talking about because I didn't want to hear about it in the first place. And that's why I hate everything. And by everything, I mean anything but anime, because nobody wants to talk to you about anime.
I mean, I would talk to you about anime.
Bad enough that I can.
If I knew more about it.
See, exactly. I actually don't really like the anime that much either. That's the thing.
Listen. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go find some fucking pretentious ass books to read. Then we can talk about that.
You can do it. Then I probably will hate them.
Yeah, because there's. Never mind.
Well, actually, I don't mind talking about things in the context of the podcast. Much like
weebs, I feel like the only people who hate pretentious book readers more than like the world as a whole are other pretentious book readers. That's
almost guaranteed to be true.
Like, I feel like I wish that were the case for more fandoms, honestly. I wish more fandoms were self-aware enough to like realize how terrible their fandom is. And still love it. Because
you get pretentious book readers, like I imagine you get a room full of them. They're like, I'm actually supposed to be the only one who knows about this.
Well, that's exactly it. Is that I feel like so much of that like pretentious book reader like characterization is just to be better than other people, and like
like when you have to talk to me about every book you've read, like don't. Because I read a lot of books that I don't tell you guys about because they are not really worth talking about. Or just kind of a for me thing. It's important to take things that you like and just keep them to you and make them a thing that matters, and store them inside your heart. And you can do that with a lot of books, which you can access at audibletrial.com/off-the-air.
It's true.
By the way, no, I realized a few episodes ago you missed the music.
I haven't put the music in the last few because we haven't done a long enough plug to
No, we did one that was an actual plug. Like you did an actual thing for it. I think it was 13.
Episode? Do you just reference episode 13 as your default? Because
I meant 33.
Every single episode, you're just like, oh yeah, back on like episode 13 or something. I was like, Dan.
No, I meant 33. I apologize.
Is distinctly not the episode that you think it is.
It was what was the name of what was the episode number? Was St. Patty's 33, 32, 30 something. Yeah, it was that one. I remember like thinking as I'm sitting there, like, hey, wait a minute, something's missing here. By the way, On a related note, doing the plugs, like hearing the plugs on the podcast is so much less fun when we don't have the fun music and like are going ham into it.
It really does. Yeah.
Like,
so because you guys have already pulled away from the plug for long enough, I want to talk about audibletrial.com/off the air. Specifically, do you guys have any books? Because I'm going to drop one that I am going to start today. I haven't read it yet.
Go off.
I would love to hear it.
How to Ruin Everything by George Watsky.
Ooh.
Who you may know.
Wait, I didn't know Watsky did a book.
Yeah, he wrote a book in 2016, right after his Times Infinity album dropped.
Nice.
Huh.
He's probably one of my favorite artists in general. Probably like top 5 favorite. I actually went to a concert of his not too long ago. It was really dope. And I'm going to start his book later today. I got it at this really cool bookstore in Austin called Book People, which I actually saw ranked as like the best bookstore in Texas when I was going through a list of like 50 best bookstores, one for each state. So it was ranked as the best in Texas, and it's a really cool bookstore. It's huge. It's got a whole bunch of like authors and stuff that come in. But anyway, I picked up his book when I was there, and you should give it a read. It's a series of essays that he wrote when he was doing his kind of like stand-up slam poetry tour at colleges across the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, and it works pretty well with the themes of something I've been working on anyway. So I'm like, you might as well get a little bit of inspiration from that if I can.
Huh.
Inspiration, and by inspiration you mean totally rip it off, you bastard.
Yeah.
There's a quote about that somewhere where like they're not imitation being the purest form of flattery, like it's a better one about specifically plagiarism.
Oh, I have one.
Yeah, no.
In the words of the great Phil Anselmo of Pantera, rip off everything, because somewhere in there is an original sound, and that can be yours.
That's solid, actually. I respect that.
It's really not. Phil Anselmo's a terrible person.
You can have a good philosophy and still be a terrible person.
It's true. Karl Marx. Just kidding. Karl Marx was a hero.
See, I was gonna go much harder into that, and I'm glad that you stopped at Marx.
Please read the Communist Manifesto.
Read the Communist. You know what? Read the Communist Manifesto to a bunch of kids if you can.
Can I talk to you guys about communism after we're done with this plug?
Real hard to How to Ruin Everything.
Okay. I'll take that as a no.
How to Ruin Everything on Audible is narrated by Watsky. So
nice.
You got your full spectrum of Watsky in this book.
Yeah, definitely check it out. If it's by him, written and narrated by him, that'd be really, really cool. He's a really cool guy. I went to his show. It was a good time. I got to meet him. It was nice and chill. He's a good dude. And his book is it's got a little message from Lin-Manuel Miranda on the front, and people on Twitter like him. So
exactly.
Why?
I don't know if you knew this, but he is
he wrote Hamilton.
He was that one Broadway guy. Yeah, the Hamilton.
He is also responsible for that one post on Tumblr I saw the other day about how it's revisionist history if you try and say the founding fathers were white.
What?
I assume it's a joke.
No, it was a Tumblr, and it was just
just tumbling the hell out of Tumblr.
It was just somebody being dumb because they probably just genuinely didn't know. And of course, Hamilton's dope though.
I've heard nothing but good things.
It is dope. A little bit of it, like the writing in the songs, is a bit not awesome at parts, but a lot of them are really cool. Like the song "The World Was Wide Enough" is an amazing song, probably one of my favorite songs in any musical.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some of the writing is just a bit like, okay, we get it. You can rhyme 2 words together.
I mean, but
no, it's really cool musical.
Nice. Yeah, I've never I never got into it because I realized that it was a multi-hour extravaganza that I just did not have the time to sit down and listen to and appreciate. Also,
yeah, it's not like
I feel like I would get a lot more out of it if I watched a video of the performance rather than just
also
listen
true.
to it. And I'm sure I would love the soundtrack if I watched it, but I would need to watch it first, and that's a multi-hour performance I do not have time for.
And also, speaking of Broadway, Bruce Springsteen had a Broadway show.
He did, didn't he?
Huge fan of Bruce Springsteen. Love Bruce Springsteen. And he's also got a book which is called, I think it's Born to Run is the name of it.
That makes sense.
And it's his autobiography, yeah. And it is apparently amazing.
Just ripped off my name. I see how it is.
Yeah, exactly. But no, apparently his autobiography is actually like fantastic. Like it got like a whole bunch of like critical praise, and so maybe give that a check out. I haven't picked it up yet, but I've been thinking about that once I'm done with this book. I gotta knock some things out of my queue first, though.
Also, speaking of Born to Run, you can get that on Audible, also narrated by Bruce Springsteen.
He does his own book too? Awesome. I'm actually probably going to pick it up on Audible then. Because I love him. He's a great man.
Usually it would be a $35 audiobook, but you would get it for free with one of your Audible book tokens. Throwing it out there.
That's a good deal.
That's not even remotely a bad deal.
Not at all. Yeah, so check it out. audibletrial.com/off the air. And now that the plug is over, guys, let's talk about communism.
Fire away.
Just kidding. We can talk about Bruce Springsteen. I don't want to go into communism right now.
Okay.
But I do want to just go into saying that every day that passes, I become a little bit more of a communist. One day I'll just be full comrade.
And that day is today.
And yeah, today is the day, comrade.
Today is the day, brother.
Yeah, cheeky breaky.
Man! Speaking of comrades, we watched Atomic Blonde at movie night the other night, and man, I did not expect to enjoy that movie as much as I did.
I heard good things. It isn't like just female James Bond, pretty much.
Very much so, and it was awesome.
No, I thought I think it worked really well. Although I'll agree with what Jeff was saying, some of those neon lights that were just
so
like
good.
They were pretty, but I feel like there could have been a more consistent tone of lighting through the movie rather than I don't know. There were some points that there just seemed to be too much neon.
You guys ever seen The Neon Demon?
No, I did compare that. I'm like, this reminds me of what Jackson was saying when it's like, oh, I saw The Neon Demon. Now I want to be dramatic with my lighting.
It's true, yeah.
I will say
it's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a while though.
My two big takeaways from that movie were God damn is that lighting good, and that Sophia Boutella is my new celebrity crush.
Mine's still Natalie Portman, in case anyone was curious.
Natalie Portman has a new space movie coming out.
I saw that, and I don't like space movies, but I love Natalie Portman, so I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
nice.
Dan, I believe the movie is about someone who went to space and like spacewalked and everything, and then came back, and it's like, well, what even is the Earth then?
I like that.
What do you mean? What is the Earth?
Like,
hold on.
What does everything mean? Kind of thing when like you've been up in space and you like got to live that whole thing. What does this mean? What's the point?
You ever like smell lavender before? Like, get off your high horse, Natalie Portman. Just smell some flowers. Live your life. Bask in the sunshine. Look at the green of the trees some days, you know? You know those days where the trees are like extra green?
Yep.
Just one of those days would change your perspective. I went to space. I stood on a gray rock for a couple days. Shut up, man.
I don't know.
This is Jackson's. I'm apparently angry today, and by that I mean I've been up for like almost 24 hours now. I woke up around noon yesterday, and it's currently 11 a.m.
This sounds so interesting, you guys. I am so on board with this movie. It's called Lucy in the Sky for people who are listening and are interested.
That was it.
And like,
I don't know. I personally I've never been to space, but I relate to what I'm sure the feelings are.
What? Are you kidding me? You've never been?
I know,
right? Oh man, you gotta go sometime. It's such a trip, dude. No, but like this is exactly what I genuinely 100% honestly. This is like the only reason that I wouldn't go to space, because I 100% would believe that like I would just start to lose my shit being stuck on Earth. Like straight, like I'm not even joking.
I don't know. I would have the biggest anxiety attack. It wouldn't even be funny.
Dude,
I can look up at
so cool.
No, I can look up at the sky at night and like want to die.
If you land on the moon, you're stuck on the moon.
Have you guys ever looked up into the sky and like
you're stuck wherever you go?
I mean, we're all stuck wherever we go, Jackson.
Exactly. So then why get upset about it if you've been to the moon and been stuck there and now you're stuck somewhere else?
Because I feel like being stuck in space is more interesting.
No, you just can't breathe.
In space, no one can hear you breathe because you can't.
Yeah, because you can. God, what a good tagline. In space, no one could hear you scream.
It is such a good tagline.
Very good tagline.
Have you guys ever I experienced a lot more when I was a kid and had glasses because
dork.
Well, because since I started wearing contacts, I've been living in the city, and so like I haven't had a chance to like experience it again now that I've been wearing contacts. I remember I have very distinct memories as a kid of like going out into the yard like in the like at midnight or so, and just staring up into the sky for long enough that my perspective the only thing I can think of referring to it as is like almost this perspective snap where like all of a sudden the vastness just suddenly clicks. Because I don't know about you guys, but like when I look up at the sky, I don't think, oh wow, that is the infinite abyss up there. But I remember I have very distinct memories of just sitting outside looking up and like suddenly the infinity was like there and like I could like it just was, and that it's one of the coolest things. It is so surreal and like the closest thing to an out of body experience I've ever experienced in my life.
Cool,
dude,
man.
I love space.
Try DMT?
Dude, I love space so much.
You ever smoke some DMT?
I have not, and I appreciate that you're making a joke. Dude, I love space so much.
I don't know. I'm a very problematically grounded person, and if I look at space and recognize the infinity, it means borderline nothing to me, because whether or not it exists does not mean it has any effect on my day-to-day life.
It doesn't.
The person I want to become.
Yeah, it absolutely doesn't.
And as a result, I am generally neutral towards space, regardless of how impressive it is.
I try not to look at the sky at night because it makes me incredibly uncomfortable.
Red sky at night, though.
Sailor's
Sailor's delight, boys. Red sky at morning. Sailors, better look out.
This has been the off the air weather channel. Back to you guys in the studio.
Back to you, Chuck.
We're going to brand new Chevy Malibu 2988.
You know, you guys do realize that you guys can just edit that audio effect, right? You don't have to do it with your hands.
No, we do.
No,
okay, cool.
Noah, can we talk about ripping things off real quick?
Yeah, let's rip things off.
Specifically
like this whole podcast?
Arms.
Arms?
No, specifically ripping arms off.
Oh.
I was talking with my coworkers the other day, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," like, you know, like getting like your arm ripped off by like, you know, something. You put your hand in a hole, and I was like, I've never seen a horror movie and someone gets their arm ripped off, and I'm like, that was scary. It's always kind of like you got your arm ripped off. It's a very funny thing to have happen in a horror movie. You know?
If it happens in a movie, I'll agree with you, but I also...
If it happens in real life, yes, it's a horrific tragedy. Because now you have one less limb.
I do have this, like, irrational fear of reaching my arm into holes because of that.
Oh, absolutely.
But, like, yeah, no, it's pretty funny if it happens in a movie.
Because, yeah, someone, like, either puts their hand in a hole and pulls out a stump and it's like, or if, like, their arm gets ripped off. The best example I can think of where it's, like, trying to be genuinely scary and comes off as funny is in The Thing, like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
When like the doctor like goes to like pump his stomach or whatever, or like defibrillate him, and gets his arms bit off, and just like pulls up the stumps. Yeah, it's like it's not like it's trying to be scary, but the act of having your arms comically ripped off is just silly. Same with getting like ripped in half.
Yeah. No,
like okay,
I'll
getting
agree with
quickly
that.
ripped in half. Like if like a giant monster comes and like just grabs your like arms and legs and just rips you in half, it's funny. But if it's like a slow process where someone's like screaming,
that's
not
just
very funny.
That's just unhappy. It's like,
if it's
that
really
sucks
gory,
for them.
also not funny. But if it's like not really gory and it's just like it's like if a King Kong movie, like King Kong just like rips somebody in half.
Like if someone
just
in I was about to say someone in a Marvel movie, if they got ripped in half, there would be like zero blood and it would be like a pristine scene. And it'd be like,
Yeah, I still remember when like Shrek stabbed Iron Man. That was crazy.
Freaking wild.
He also just didn't really bleed.
It's true.
He spat out a little bit of blood.
In space,
which
no one can hear you bleed.
Bit of a misconception because you don't just start coughing up blood immediately, right? Because like if your internal organ, if he got stabbed in like the lower like left hand side of his abdominal, his lungs aren't there, his stomach's not there. He ain't coughing up blood quite right away.
You know what?
I actually don't know the answer to that because I don't know how that works. I've never looked into the logistics of somebody being shot and or stabbed.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers here. If you get like if there's blood in your lungs, you're gonna cough up blood for sure.
Running those numbers.
Yeah, and if there's blood in your stomach, you're probably gonna vomit blood. But if there's no blood in your lungs or stomach, I don't see a reason why blood should be coming out of your mouth, right?
I mean, maybe you ate a really raw steak
one
earlier.
Hole to your mouth. Well, that's to your stomach.
Listen, man, I don't have the answer here. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't either. I'm just theorizing.
No, theoretically, I agree with you, but also I feel like it's one of those things that like, it's one of those acceptable breaks from reality that films just do. Like,
oh yeah, that's fine.
Because it gives a lot more like just from like a filmmaking perspective, it makes it a lot more interesting than just looking at someone's face as they like.
Well, I'm not talking about movies. I'm talking about real life.
In real life, yeah, I have no idea. Although also in real life, like so many things that you wouldn't expect to be as deadly as they are, and so many things that you would expect to be super deadly aren't. Like gunshots.
Thanos did also snap with like a gauntlet on.
Yeah, but yeah, that is true.
Incredibly impressive.
Honestly, just think of the absolute like strength that he has in his hand. Like I feel like it makes sense.
He's the material. Less about the strength, more about the material.
That's true. You gotta assume that the material's got to be just like super flexible because you can snap. You can snap your fingers in like leather gloves.
That's me snapping my fingers.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with
Thank you,
gloves.
Noah.
No. Thank you for your service.
I'm glad I could help.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's probably possible. He's probably a pretty strong dude.
I think that he's canonically like one of the stronger characters in the MCU. I don't think he's not
really jacked though.
Who is?
He should be jacked.
No, just Titans in his species in general.
Thanos?
Yeah,
of course he's one of the strongest.
I don't like the way you said that, but like,
well, I know. Let me take it back. I know that during Jackson, I know you don't care about any of this. I know during his Hulk fight, the only reason he won is because he had like already 2 of the stones in the gauntlet. Like he's not Hulk level strong. He is stronger than like.
To be fair, no one is Hulk level strong because Hulk level strong literally infinitely scales.
I think he's Thor level strong. I don't remember off the top of my head, and I'm not looking it up because I don't care that much.
Actually, Hulk is not that strong. Just show him a cat video on YouTube, and he's no longer angry.
Yeah, he just chills right the fuck out.
You're not
like, hey man, check this out. It's like 2 cats like partying at it. You ever seen that like cat disco video that's been going around? Love that video. Just show him that, he'd be not angry in a heartbeat. Be like, nice,
amazing.
Boom. Now I beat the Hulk. Who's next? Thanos? I'll show him the cat video. He'll be distracted and I'll pull off his little glove and I'll snap with it on. I don't think I could probably put it on my hand, huh?
Probably not. It's a little big.
Well, it doesn't like have the power to like bend reality, so I could just bend reality so my hands are bigger. Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Uncle Jack.
Can you do that? Does reality stone let you make in that case? Like, why would you not just get a bigger dick? Like, let's be real.
Like, I haven't even seen. You're bold of you to assume he didn't.
I just kind of assume he did.
Nice.
I feel like that was the first thing he did. Honestly,
I have not seen Infinity War. By the way, I'm just going off of clips that I have seen.
That's fair.
So I have no idea whether or not
you're full of shit.
Any of these, I have no idea what any of these things do, or where Thanos is from, or who he is, or who his dad is. But
okay, like you really like. I won't say you're not missing out on much, but like if it's not something you're going to be into, like don't watch it.
Really?
Like,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, on one hand, yeah, don't do that for anything. Like if you're not into a thing, don't do the thing. But also,
it's kind of hard to start watching comic book movies now. There's too many.
Yeah,
and you can skip a lot of them, but like then you still have to, even if you're skipping most of them, you still have to watch like 4 movies, which is a big undertaking.
Yeah, I still got 2 left. I'm still down. I still have to. Well, I don't have to. I still want to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I still want to watch Captain Marvel.
Isn't Ant-Man played by Paul Rudd?
Yes, he is. Paul Rudd,
who
is Paul Rudd. Great. I love him a lot. I love him.
I love his Tim and Eric sketch where he's Celery Man.
That's amazing.
If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's very funny. It is from far before he was kind of famous at the time because he'd done some movies. I think like maybe his stepbrother and whatnot. But yeah, Paul Rudd, good actor. Tim and Eric, great show. Awesome show, great job.
Speaking of awesome shows, I think we're about ready to wrap up.
This has been one.
This has been one.
This has been a good episode, you guys.
This has actually been Jackson's tired, angry episode.
I mean, that's every episode, fam.
That's not true.
It's not. It's not true.
Today's been my Jackson tells people to stop talking to him episode.
That's a great thing to do while on a podcast.
Not you guys, but like, I'm sorry.
He likes us. He really likes us.
I don't think he said that.
I was yelling at a lot of straw men.
That's okay. Honestly, we've all gone out to a cornfield and yelled at some straw men.
Have we? I haven't.
Jackson, back me on this. We've both gone out to cornfields and yelled at straw men.
All the time.
Every weekend.
You know, me yelling at like the classics, people who want to talk to me about their Jinko jeans and their love like Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, those are good things to be mad about, to be fair.
Are they?
To be fair, yes.
Yes.
Nothing's really good to be mad about. I'm not really mad about anything.
Nah, your fun is wrong.
Yeah. Plus, I'm not really like...
Hot take, you guys. Mad. Your fun can be wrong.
I don't know about that. I'm kidding. All right, this has been Off the Air. I'm Noah.
Why did you have to say it that way? That was such a weird way to say it.
You can find me you can find me on most sites as Bubba the Bad, BUBBADABAD, not to be confused with Bubba Wubba Dab. Very different. Bubba Wubba Dab talks about politics far more than I do.
Yeah, but like at least he stands for something.
It's true.
Dan, where can we find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Born to Rule. You can find me on Twitter, at Born57, and on Instagram, at Born57. And that's it.
And Jackson, I'm sure we can
I'm
find
gonna
you.
list you guys 8 prize-winning hogs who definitely didn't deserve to win. Number 1, probably Colonel. He won in 1997, and everyone remembers the summer. It was the summer of Big Mama. And Colonel, he won the prize. Are you kidding me? Fucking idiot.
Why are you like this?
Number 2 is Melvin, who won in 2000. Yeah, he's a photogenic hog. We'll grant you that. But it's not a beauty contest, guys. It's a hog contest. Come on, fucking Melvin.
Anyway, though, we can
Lindy
find
won in 2002.
The podcast on twitter.com/theofftheair, facebook.com/OTA podcast, and patreon.com/offtheair. Some great stuff. Find us, support us, give us a 5-star review on iTunes or your favorite listening platform to get us pushed out to more people. We greatly appreciate it.
Give us those sweet YouTube subs if you want to
also,
video version.
we on the YouTube, so give us a like, smash that like button, ring that bell, and all that fun stuff.
You don't have to do either of those things. It's fine.
Do those things.
It just helps us get an actual YouTube URL, so we're not just youtube.com/gibberish.
Yeah, smash that like button. All right,
smash
Jackson,
that.
Do you have any
button.
closing statements?
Dan likes feet.
All right, thanks, guys. See you later.